morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at beautiful Pimlico Racecourse. I'm Dan Ullman, along with the Equibase ace, Keith Fustel, getting set for a Saturday edition of Today at the Races. We've got 10 big races on NTL Saturday here at Pimlico. We got through the rainy weather yesterday. It is a beautiful day today.
Let's just say we worked out the kinks, right? Then we're done, ready to roll. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Baltimore. Please come out and join us. I like today's card from a betting standpoint. I think it's strong. Great job by the racing office. They've been doing a phenomenal job, and yeah, looking good. Looking forward to a very good Saturday on tap. And I tell you what, thanks again to the bettors. I know we had the hiccup in the first race. Good handle all in all for the most part. I thought yesterday on that 9-race card, I'll make it 8, but I thought it was a good card all in all. Getting back this track too, you saw how dried out quickly. I mean, we got to good by the end of the day. We thought we were going to start with a sloppy track early, got to muddy, then good, and today just a gorgeous day with the conditions on the turf course, looking to get back on the green.
Some notable performances, 2 winners for the trainer-jockey tandem, Anthony Farrier, Arnaldo Bocachica. Yedzit Hazelwood made a nice debut at Pimlico.
Oh, yeah, Yedzit, up on the front end, that was very good. We thought that horse, with the trips that it had, we showed that video spotlight, took advantage of the speed. Speed pretty good on the main track yesterday.
And again, of course, today is National Thoroughbred League Day. Not only is it going to be just a great party atmosphere with all of the celebrities and the meet and greets and the events for the kids and the family, but also some of our bread and butter racehorses are going to run for big purses. $75,000 purses for these starter optional claimers. These hard hitters deserve it.
They absolutely deserve the reward that they're going to get today. Yeah, big purses on tap, 75 grand. Like we've got our own little mini claiming ground and stuff going on here today.
So thanks to the NTL, we appreciate the partnership, and let's take a look at the weather conditions. Much better than yesterday. The main track has dried out perfectly. It is fast. The turf course is currently listed as good. Won't be surprised if it's upgraded.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. We had a little breeze come through here. We always have a little bit of a natural breeze at Old Hilltop, but yeah, sunny skies. I think we're going to get close to 70 when it's all said and done.
Race number 1, 5/8 of a mile on that good turf course. It's a claiming race, 25 down to 20. Now winners of 2 life for fillies and mares. Take out the 3, the 8, the 13, the 14, the 15, and the 16. This is the first leg of the first of 2 value pick 5 wagers. We call it the value pick 5 here at the Maryland Jockey Club because you really can't beat the takeout. 12% take, one of the best bets in racing, 50-cent minimum.
Yeah, and I like the setup here today, this opening early value pick 5 again with that 12% low takeout. I'm going to get you started 3 horses in the open. I've got some value in here with the 7. Ask not what you can do. I go 2, 5, 7 to get you started. Race 2 with the 4, 5, and 7. Biravino Boulevard. A little equipment change a couple races back. Made a difference. We'll talk about that. Race 3, 2 and 10. Empire Street, Sun River. I thought this was a tricky race. If you can spread a little bit more in there, please do. Race 4 with the 3 and the 4. Secret Treasure and Motscary. And race 5. We're going to finish it up. Noah Chance. Call me Andy. Got
big
in
scratch
here.
gets
huge
him in.
Scratch. Take out the 5 and the 9. Call me Andy gets in for Brendan Walsh. Going to take a slew of play in race 5. It's a $36 ticket.
You're going with a little bit of a price in our opener. That is the number 7. Ask not what you can do. We have a trainer stat for Hugh McMahon. And McMahon recently has been doing really good work. 4 for the last 18. But look at that return on investment. Over $6 moving dirt to turf. Ask not what you can do was purchased for $8,000 over the winter at auction. They gave the horse 1 try on dirt. She obviously doesn't like it. I love that they freshened her up. Got her ready for turf season.
Found out dirt. No go right now. But we go back. This horse ran well. Jumping a condition off of a break. You go back to last summer at Colonial in a 3 in life behind a horse, another Trombetta horse that came back to win a couple in a row with some good numbers. There is plenty of speed signed on, I think, in this opener. Look for this one to sit a trip mid-pack. Hopefully not get too much trouble around the turn and bring a finish here. Hugh McMahon, we saw that ROI. I've got to take a shot at that kind of number. Sitting right now on the board at 21-1. Will come down a little bit.
You mentioned this horse's tactical speed. She can slot in right behind the leaders, and she was in against good horses in her most recent turf start at Laurel 2 back. The runner-up came back under 59 Beyer speed figure, validating Ask Not What You Can Do's 54. Ariel Moon is my top selection, the number 2. Now, this horse burned a lot of money last year before before finding the right spot in her final start of 2024. It was a race where they ran 1-2 all the way around the track, but the runner-up did come back and win. Another situation, they tried dirt a couple of times. That's not what she wants to do. They gave her a break. We have a trainer stat for Michael Trombetta. Dirt to turf, first after a layoff between 2 and 4 months, 4 for the last 15, and a $4.68 return on investment. Here's my concern, Keith. Ariel Moon was mostly a speed horse on turf.
Yes.
Is there just too much other speed in here? Horses like Seep, horses like Respect the Law, they're going to go, right?
Lazy Days is quick as well. There's a few in here. Even Diane Lee, if she breaks fast, catches a flyer, has shown a little bit of foot. So I do like the fact you go down on her page a little bit, Dan. She shows a race just off of it, and she's got a premier turf rider around here in Georgia Ruiz to kind of, measure things out going to the turn. I think she can sit a pocket trip if needed. I don't want to see her getting too far back. She's got to stay in fairly close attendance, but I think she can strike from just off of it if needed. And I like the way they protected her at Charlestown.
I picked her on top. I'm going to spread to open up the pick 5 using your horse, the number 7. I want to talk a little bit about a very intriguing runner, the number 5, Viscous Gossip. This is a horse who made her debut at Colonial, took a lot of money, won that race, was claimed by Jamie Ness, who certainly knows what he's doing, and immediately switches this one to turf with pedigree.
Well, you got the pedigree, bottom side. The mare, 4 for 29 on the turf with a top of a 90. Second him. It's a turfy lean there in this family. Could be a very claim here by Ness. I like this, and ran down a loose leader after encountering early trouble. Had a little left in the tank as well.
Maybe Respect the Law, the number 10, will show a little bit of speed. Heck, she did so in her turf debut down at Colonial in her final start last year. That was a long time ago. But she went to the front and she shrugged off the 10-1 third place finisher, went about her business. Lasix on. Ricky Silliman, great year.
Oh, he's having a very good year. He's getting horses to win turf or dirt. It doesn't matter. He's done well off the claim. Solid all around. A pretty good, you've heard me say it on the show before, pretty good third baseman back in the day on our softball team.
Wide open opener. 7, 2, 5, and 10 for Keith. 2, 7, 10, and 1 for me. Let's move on to race number 2. Race number 2 is at 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. It's a claiming race for 3-year-olds, 20 down to 16. The race remains intact with a field of 7. It is the first leg of our first pick 4 wager, 50-cent pick 4 in race number 2. And again, we always say it, if you get knocked out of the pick 5, jump right back into the pick 4. And if you don't get knocked out of the pick 5, jump right back into the pick 4.
That doesn't matter. Like I say, be a little greedy. Take it down, man. Get the money. Start your spring and summer off right.
You need Preakness bankroll.
I do need a bankroll. Yeah, I'm gonna have the wife here and a bunch of friends. They're gonna be hounding me, so I need to be loaded. Let's see what we got here. I tell you what, this race gave me a little bit of trouble. Birovino Boulevard. Let's go to the video spotlight back on March the 1st. This was an equipment change, and we've seen this move from this barn in recent note. Rudy Sanchez Salaman, the blinkers off to the cheek pieces on.
Cheek pieces on, and Birovino Boulevard really liked it. Just tracking 3 wide right now, is going to coast past these leaders under Thais Liapestine, and is just going to go about his business to win, earning a career best 51 Beyer speed figure. These connections tried the turf last time out. Not only is that likely not this horse's best surface, but he was in way too tough. He was 80-1 against a sharp first level allowance type in Coringa. So a drop in class, switching back to this surface and a distance he appreciates, ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes. I think we'll get a little bit of a flow. And the 2 inside horses have some speed. Who says so on the stretch out along with Buoyant? These 2 will go. We talked before the show. Maybe Buoyant, did we miss on this horse a little bit? I would have preferred an off surface. We're going to get that today, but I think Who Says So can keep that one honest up top. I like the improvement there. Don't know why they went on the turf with Birovino Boulevard last time, but you know what? I'll just put a line right through that, and I think this horse can settle, trying to turn the tables on Mr. Mendelslew.
Similar situation with your second pick, the number 5, Mr. Mendelslew, a horse that's run very well on dirt. They tried turf in that Birovino Boulevard race. This horse finished ahead of Birovino Boulevard on the turf. It's not his surface. Getting back to dirt, this is a very consistent performance, and I think he's been in against some decent $20,000 fields, decent first level allowance fields. He fits.
I think he's just got the right kind of tactical speed here. I think he'd be a little bit foolish if he tries to go ahead and attack point too early. Just sit, relax, try to make that move 3/8 pole. Then I'm hoping Biravino Boulevard can follow and run that one down.
My goal in the pick, early pick 5, 50-cent pick 4, key my top 2 picks. I'm a big fan of Tough Luck. I thought this horse ran great last time out on Valentine's Day. I know it was a bottom maiden race, but he was 5 wide after the first quarter mile, 4-5 wide on the second turn, bumped with the runner-up who came back to win in the stretch and kept on going. I was really looking forward to Tough Luck when he was entered back on March the 23rd. He scratched sick that day, so we have to deal with a little bit of a layoff, but I have a feeling this horse is starting to figure it out.
Yeah, I like the improvement the last 2 races. The blinkers went on, a little better sustained run. Again, should be able to avoid a serious overland trip, especially with the 1 and the 2 going, and I think Mr. Mendelssohn believes. This horse shouldn't be any worse than 3 wide, maybe into the backstretch, be able to tuck in. And maybe it might help this horse to get up behind a little bit of cover to carry him.
4-5-7-3 for Keith, 4-7-5-3 for me in race number 2. Race number 3, 1 mile on the turf. It's a maiden claiming event, 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds have the option to run for $20,000. Scratch the 7 and the 12 through the 15. Carol Cedeno will ride the number 5. That's Wine Snob. Let's talk about Some River. The number 10 in here, this is your top selection. Some River goes out for a very good trainer in Justin Nixon. This horse I just thought was extremely green in the debut at Tampa, and I think is going to benefit with the Lasix and blinkers makeover.
Went and watched that race again. This horse looked like it was picking up a little bit of ground, turning for home. Angled out, leaving the quarter pole into the 3/16, and then you talked about it. She was just a little bit green laying it. I didn't mind the gallop out. She seemed interested. I think there's something there. I'm going to bring some focus here today with the blinkers. I like this horse, Some River, because the ones that have run consistent, I just don't not completely sold. Get a little value here for this Justin Nixon runner. Really good trainer.
Empire's Treat, the number 2, began her career, over at Woodbine, so has to run on turf, has to run on synthetic. Rudy Sanchez Solomon took this horse 2 starts back, and I think figured this horse is better on the turf. And I thought she ran okay in her turf debut. She sort of tracked 3 wide all the way around the track. She finished evenly as the favorite. Maybe she needed that race. Her first start off of a 2-month layoff. I think she can sit a pocket trip.
And that's the key. Sometimes you fool these horses. You get a little bit of a pocket, a little bit of a box, and it just kind of carries you all the way. And you may only have to run that last 3/16 of a mile if you find a seam. I think that's going to be the key to Empire Street. Hard to leave out. Knocking on the door, 4 for 12, 4 seconds out of 12 starts, 2/3. So always around the money. Definite use today.
We have a video spotlight on the number 8. That's Steam Knot going out for Susan Cooney and Sarah Del Fabro. Let's take a look at Steam Knot.
All right, this one's another one. Got plenty of experience, 13 starts, 5/3 from those races. But I tell you what, all in all, being part of this flow, and it was okay. Look at the willingness. Drop back a little bit around the turn, was trying through that last 1/8 of a mile.
Absolutely, and the winner of this race is Odds On Delayed, who was getting a big drop in class, just a little bit of a better horse than Steam Knot. Susan Cooney gears her horses up for turf season, and I think Steam Knot probably gained a tremendous amount of fitness off that race, and you could argue that this is a slight class drop after facing that good Graham Motion trained Delayed. I want to talk about the number 1 St. Grace, maybe at a little bit of a price going out for trainer Miquel Rodriguez. We have a trainer stat. Sprint to route, 14 for the last 61, 23%, a 276 ROI. So this is a daughter of Connect who started twice sprinting, was claimed out of her most recent race. She hit the board in both starts on dirt, now is going to stretch out and switch to turf. Now, the dam was stakes placed sprinting on synthetic, but the dam's a half to Cherokee Triangle, 97 turf buyer going long. I just have a feeling this horse is going to at least appreciate the extra distance, might appreciate the turf, and is going to be a price based on those low buyers on dirt.
Sneaky little play there. I like it. And on the top side, Connect, 14, 15% with the turf routers.
You're going 10, 2, 8, and 11. I'm going 2, 1, 10, and 6 in race number 3. Race number 4, mile and a 16th on the main track. This is a claiming race, 10 down to 8. The older horses in for non-winners, a 3 life, 3-year-olds open. Scratch the 1, the 2, the 6, the 7, the 5. Cassius Weston Hamilton aboard the number 5. Cassius. Let's start things off by mentioning that this is the first leg of a 50-cent pick four wager. We have early, we have middle, we have late pick fours here at Pimlico. Lots of chances to make money. There will be no superfecta wagering in this race. You're going with the 4 Secret Treasure.
Yeah, and my value is out the door. It's gone out the window, whatever you want to call it. 8 to 1, going to be down much lower than that, probably 3 to 1, 5 to 2 range. I think when it's all said and done, I just like the move here. Hugh McMahon, turf to dirt. This horse was hung out a couple races back, kind of against the flow, against Mutscari. Made that move as a favorite, was beaten there, just flattened out. I think Yetsit can get this one close to the pace. Going to need to in this shorter field because I think Mutscari, the 3, is a go from the inside.
You laid it out perfectly. This is going to be a rider's race, and Secret Treasure, a horse on paper, doesn't have a ton of speed unless if the pace is very slow. I think this pace could be slow, and I think Hazelwood could get Secret Treasure up close, but I do think Mutscari for the Red Hot Boca Chica Farrier combination is just going to be sent in here. We have a video spotlight for Mutscari, who's coming into this race in excellent form.
Yeah, this was a good effort. Second off the claim. We talked about that yesterday with Ferries, about 23% in Maryland with these dirt horses. Second off the claim, got it done yesterday. But no, Mutscari, all in all, this was a good effort. Track the pace, not terribly strong, but right there, moderate. Makes the move inside. Going to dual go clear here, top of the stretch. Just can't quite hang on. Gatekeeper in an interesting run, battling back without the use of the whip, just kind of handwritten, is going to go ahead and catch Mutscari late. But you know what? This was a good enough effort.
But it was a solid performance, as you mentioned, and I think this horse is going to be just fine, getting around 2 turns, breaking from the inside post, and potentially controlling the pace. Mutscari also has very competitive buyer speed figures. Unfortunately, any value you have on Mutscari likely lost as we are scratched down. I want to talk about Cassius a little bit, the number 5. I think this horse is a little bit underrated. Maybe if you want to try to split the favorites, you can get this one in there. I thought this horse ran okay back at Laurel on November the 16th, going a mile on the 16th, up close to the pace, tiring. They really wanted to get aggressive with this horse 2 starts back at Charlestown, put him to the whip leaving the gate, and I think the reason was speed was winning every day.
Yeah.
That's not Cassius's MO. Turf to dirt, second off the
Same
bench.
kind of angle. You go back to the race you're talking about, Laura. You see our comments sent outside. This horse can take to it, is used to that, and might be just okay getting thrust into the race early, going turf to dirt to change the surface. Yeah, back number, a little dirtied up for him the last 3 races.
4, 3, 5, and 8 for Keith. 3, 5, 4, and 8 for me. If there was a superfecta, we'd have it boxed for sure. We'll move on to race number 5. Race number 5 is at 5 furlongs on the turf. $48,000 is the purse for this race. This is a really, really tough field. It's a state-sired allowance. Scratch the 5, Peeling Land. Scratch the 9, Great Heavens. Tyler Connor takes them out on the 2, Great Kisser. Let's start things off with a video spotlight horse after we talk about the Chesapeake Pick 6, because the Chesapeake Pick 6, the carryover is growing. We're almost at $1,300. It's a 20-cent minimum wager, and if you pick the winner of all 6, the final 6 races on the card, and you're the only one to do it, jackpot time.
Yeah, if that doesn't attract you, you know what? I'll take 13.
I'll
take
I'm
$2,000
not too
to get
proud.
Me started for next week. Exactly, not proud at all. But I'll take the shot. Call me Andy again. He draws in here.
That's a huge.
8 to 5 on the morning line with Ruiz for trainer Brendan Walsh. How do you see this?
I see this horse as blasting out of there and going to the front, and if you believe the buyer speed figure for the most recent turf try in 87, Call Me Andy might be long gone. And watching that race, the horse ran just fine, pressing on the outside, opening up a clear lead in the stretch. I was a little disappointed he got run down until I realized that horse that beat him came back to win. He's obviously the horse to beat, but I do want to talk about Noah Chance, the number 6 in here. We have a video spotlight for Noah Chance. We haven't seen this horse in a very long time.
Yeah, this is a horse that looked like his dirt form just kind of got sour. Turf just revitalized him. A different horse right now. Something must have gone amiss because this race is back at the beginning of turf season. And where did he go? But I like the protect move coming back. This horse gets into trouble going into the turn. We're going to pick this up.
A little steady in between.
Going to watch this here.
Right up on heels.
Yeah, this is not easy. And this is, tell you what, this was a pretty salty group. You're talking about the winner, Hunter Joe, I think second in a 3 other than.
And I think he won one of the Maryland Million starter races.
So. Yes. So I like the way Noah Chance regroups with Barbosa this particular day. We're going to get the X-Man today to try to get it done. Works outward, Works between here. This is a really good finish after that early adversity. As he's found a home sprinting on the turf.
And he ran well at Pimlico, going 5/8 of a mile back in 2023, and he is trying real hard in the stretch. The layoff is obviously a huge concern, but it's not like they're dangling in for some low claiming price and saying, take me, no a chance. Maybe he needs the race, maybe he won't. I trust Jerry Robb in these situations. Benny Havens, well, I'm back to Benny Havens again. And you look at Benny Havens' form.
It's going to be better value than Metagooch, I know that.
he's 1 for 42 last time out, but you know something? He consistently outruns his odds, and I still think his last race was okay against first level allowance, open first level allowance types. He doesn't have a ton of speed. That could be a concern in this race if the 11 just goes out there and controls the fractions, but he was down inside. He was over and behind a little bit, but he still showed the willingness to run at the age of 8. I thought he galloped out pretty well. The major concern for me isn't that he's going to show up. I think he'll show up with his usual race. The major concern is I wonder if 5/8 is actually a little sharp for him.
Yeah, I don't mind the closers on this turf course. I actually prefer them here rather than Laurel. I know we've got that longer stretch, the run to the second wire. You just see that furious finish here at Pimlico that you don't get a lot of races. He could bring it. I mean, when you're looking at this race, at first, there's not a whole lot of speed. Then you look again, well, maybe Sonetic will go. Great Kisser will go. Obviously, Call Me Andy wants to be close. No a chance into that opening quarter. You know, granted, I think it might have been that longer run up, 21-2, 43-4. I think will certainly be involved. So there just might be enough for Benny Havens to set him up for
sometimes you just wonder if this is the right spot. You've got Noah Chance returning off of a lengthy layoff. You've got Meg, a filly, taking on the boys and stepping up in class. You've got Cloudy Boy, who can win this race, but we haven't seen Cloudy Boy since July. We at least have a trainer stat for Cloudy Boy. Hassan Alamri really focuses on turf, doesn't run too many horses, actually hasn't run one since the end of October. But between August 31st and October the 24th, he connected with 2 of 10 and a 5.14 ROI. I've always had a lot of respect for Cloudy Boy, but looking at his PPs, it seems like sometimes he needs a race.
He might need a race, absolutely. You're going back the last couple times off the layoff. Surely been finished the year strong last year in July. Paired up a couple good numbers from the buyer speed figures. A strong run to get it done before the layoff. He's a user for me in my exactas.
Are we giving Sonetic short shrift? We haven't mentioned him. He's turning all the way back to 5, but the last 2 times he sprinted on the lawn, he won easy.
I just don't know if he's faced this kind. That's the kicker. I think he's got to step it up. I totally respect the barn, though, and you're getting J-Rod. That might hurt your price a little bit.
6-11, 3 and 10 for Keith. 3-11, 6 and 10. Come on, Benny. In race number 5. Race number 6 will move back to the main track. 6 furlongs. Optional claiming starter allowance. 16,000 down to 16,000. The optional claiming 12.5 down to 10. Scratch the 11, the 12, the 13. Julio Hernandez will be aboard the number 2. Mean Jakey. Let's start with Minister for Magic in here. I believe we have a trainer step, but first we're going to talk about the second value pick 5. I cannot miss that one. 12% takeout. Low takeout. Our colleague and friend Mackenzie Pfeiffer has a ticket for us. She's been going well lately.
And this also kicks off the National Thoroughbred League races. So, 3 in a row. 12% takeout here with this late value pick 5. See if Mackenzie Pfeiffer can get it done for us today on a $24 ticket. Lindsey Schultz, we've got a stat with the 2 Mean Jakey. Pay attention to that one. Also going to use the 6 Minister for Magic. I like Minister for Magic today. Race 7. Yeah, this race had my head spinning. 2, 4, 5, and 6. A little surprised Mackenzie doesn't toss in Be Determined for my trainer, Suzanne Statenius. She must know something I don't know. I'm taking a shot. I'm still taking a shot with the 3. Race 8 with the 2 and the 7. Boss is a pal and Cactus. Singling. Walk Away Joe. All right. Put it together last time. Did have a trip last time at Parks. We'll talk about that. Race 10 with the 2, 5, and 7. Haley B, Neil Ithaca quick there for our man. Stormy Stable for Tim Ackerman. Rooting that one on always. $24 ticket for the late value pick 5. Let's talk about the 6th National Thoroughbred League race.
Kicking off first of 3 National Thoroughbred League races against $75,000 purse. The Luc Belair Zeus Champagne edition of the National Thoroughbred League race. Trainer stat for Minister for Magic. It's Kieran McGee who had a winner yesterday. Turf to dirt, second after the claim, 5 for the last 12, 258 ROI. So Minister for Magic was claimed. They tried this horse on the turf, showed speed going a mile. It didn't work out. Look at that stat. That race is not supposed to bother you at all because he is turning back to a distance he likes and moving back to a surface that he likes.
I'm assuming Kieran's driving into Pimlico today in a brand new vehicle. With that price on that horse yesterday at 6 to 1, I know it's bringing back. It's going to haunt us. We won't get into what happened, why we were thrown off, and not getting to the windows for that race. Can you believe the price on Abuelo Paps?
No, and Abuelo Paps certainly didn't run like that price, but Minister for Magic certainly fits in a race like this, especially in a race that should have some speed. Mean Jakey is going to be one of the major pace protagonists off the Lindsey Schultz claim. We have a trainer stat for Lindsey Schultz, and Maryland doesn't run too many horses, but look at this. 5 for the last 12, a $2.58 ROI. Lindsey Schultz might have claimed this horse just to run in a race like this, figuring I'll claim for 10, I'll run for 75.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's sharp, definitely trying to get it done. The numbers definitely stack up. The company down there, I think okay. I think this is going to be a stronger field all in all when you break it down, and he's going to have to deal with working through, into a pace and then sustaining. That's the key. What will Full Irish bring to the table? Will he be able to kind of get back and battle out on the front here, back in the barn for Lacey Gaudet, the Wolfman with speed? There's others in here. Brad Paisley certainly is quick. Mean Jake, you're going to try to mix it up probably mid-turn, see if he can sustain, but always pay attention when Lindsey Schultz brings a run. That's why I like Minister for Magic, because I think turning back in a little distance, changing surfaces, the protect move here for Kieran. I think he sits mid-pack and can make a run.
But a horse that could benefit if the pace is electric is Addie's Laddie TNT, the number 3. We have a video spotlight of Addie's Laddie TNT's most recent start. It was on April the 4th.
Yeah, he's probably going to come back and need a top number to get it done today. But we talk about the flow. Look at this out of the gate, too. A little hiccup, wasn't quite comfortable. But you know what? Gets it done. Is going to be able to get this horse to relax a little bit off the pace as things heat up front, and then it's going to make this move and just kind of get the path and find it and go ahead. Grab command, leaving mid-stretch in edge clear. Look at this move down to the inside. That's where you want to see. You want to see these younger riders, too. You got to save ground. We say it time and time again. The overland route just doesn't work. Sit there, relax. I think this horse is going to be able to draft up into a very quick pace here in race 6 and make a run. And I think can jump up figure-wise for Corrales.
I do want to talk about one horse that we don't have on our tickets, and that's my Mamba, the number 9, because if this pace is a barbecue, this is a true closer that can benefit. He's hit the board in his last 2 races. He got wired 2 starts back, and look who beat him last time. Pudge Boy Palace, who came back, ran 3rd in a 30,000 starter optional with an 83 buyer. So at a price, you might want to throw my Mamba in to spice up your exotics. 6-3-2-8 for Keith, 6-2-1-4 for me in race number 6. Let's move on for more National Thoroughbred League action with race number 7. This race will be on the turf course, a mile and an eighth. $75,000 is the purse. It's the Pick Me crowdfunding event, and we take out the 10, the 12, the 13, the 14. That gets power back into the race. Julio Hernandez on the 8, Fighter Town. I want to talk about Be Determined in here because Suzanne Setenius just is one of the more underrated trainers on this circuit. Does well with just about everything she puts on the track. This is the first leg of our late 50-cent pick 4, and Be Determined's a horse that I think figures prominently, although Mac doesn't have her on a pick 5 ticket. Boy, Be Determined, I thought, had a very tough trip last time out.
I was shocked. Yeah, we're going back in October. That was sprinting. Steadied early, stalled 8th pole, just ran out of room there late, was ready to just go on by. You talked about it. She does a great job. She ramps these horses up to this time of year, April, May, June, July, August. And she's deadly. She does a very good job. Maybe a little slow to start things up. She's going to start winning races. She's live with a couple of runners today. Be Determined has run well at a route of ground off of a layoff before. I know you got to go back to 23, but did it on this turf course against a pretty good group. Dr. Davis came back to win. That was a 2 other than. Now, he's getting a little older here. He's an 8-year-old. But you know what? Forrest Boyce is just the right kind of rider. There's plenty of speed. I think plenty of pace in this race today. Just sit. We'll take cover. I know Forrest is going to have this one down inside. Hopefully things open from the quarter pole home. Because I tell you what, you're thinking 5.5 to a mile and 8. I think he's only going to have to run like the last 5/16 of a mile. Let's hope he's ready.
I'm going for a little bit of a price here with the number 1 Prince Kozan, rooting for our friends the McHughes here. I know
sure.
Prince Kozan hasn't won a race since September of 2021, but this horse has run some competitive buyer speed figures, and I thought the recent start on turf 2 starts back is better than it looks on paper. My trip note has light bump at the start, in behind horses turning for home, had to split rivals, finished well with a pretty good gallop out. That was going this mile and an eighth distance. Prince Kozan's going to have to do it off with a layoff. I think is another one that can kick on in the stretch. I think this pace will be honest.
Yeah, the pace sets up for him. Yeah, there's a guy that walks around here with a camera. He's done it for years, and I kind of try to get a little bit out of him. It's tough to squeeze some info from these guys here at Pimlico. But yeah, definitely rooting for Betty and Prince Kozan.
Kings River, we have a video spotlight on the number 2. This horse ran very well moving back to turf last time out on April the 29th. We'll take a look at Kings River. He just got beat a nose.
Yeah, Kings River. Where did this race come from? At 23-1, I was going back. This horse had run a couple times on the turf, and all of a sudden, this race shows up, and this horse runs a very, very good trip. Called 3 wide early, is going to work outward through the stretch as this battle goes on. You're going to see Splendor Beauty in here as well. Back in today is the 9-horse this afternoon. I thought Splendor Beauty ran very well running into the teeth of this pace. But look at this run from Kings River. You think he can't go a little bit further? I think he can.
I think he
extra
can.
furlong isn't going to hurt his chances at all with Mario Villalobos. And we talked about Magana picking it up a little bit.
The problem with Splendor Beauty is going to have to stretch out a mile and an eighth, has a very bad habit of not changing leads in the stretch, and will have to deal with other speeds, horses like Frosty the Giant, horses like Fighter Town. Kendama has shown good speed in the past, and another horse that can go long. So it'll be really interesting to see how this race actually sets up.
Yeah, this is another. I was still a little bit surprised about how well he ran. I think he might be able to sit just a little further back. I think he's going to have to, because the real question mark horse in here, and you've got this horse into the mix at a 30-1 morning line, is Frosty the Giant. He's quick. I mean, he's going to make everybody work, I believe.
He's quick, and he's out of a city zip mare, so there's a little bit of turf in this pedigree. I think it is a bit of a step up in class. I'd like him a lot more if there wasn't other speeds in this race. But let me say one thing. I've been very, very impressed with how Frosty the Giant has been able to carry his speed in some of his races on the dirt when he does shake loose, and that's going to be key. I think you just have to put this horse on a dead scent, and that helps our closers.
It's a horse I had on and off, and I just couldn't quite get him there. He will be used to my exactness, because I think this is an absolute spread race. If I'm betting it, look for 1 or 2 horses and use them with a bunch. Petite Fields, the 5. Ruiz, Chucky Lawrence. Kind of a glaring number at Delaware on the softer going if it plays like that today due to the rain yesterday.
This horse has a good amount of back class as well, and just has the right running style for this race. And when you look at the last start, just wasn't he out for the exercise, an old 10-year-old making his first start back on the dirt when he's obviously a turf horse. He has plenty of numbers in the past that would make him win. And it's not like he's some one-run closer.
No,
he can basically adapt to any race flow, and he gets Ruiz.
I love it. Yeah, getting away. I think he's going to be an okay number when it's all said and done. Dan, 1475. I'm going to go 3291 in a wide open 7th, part of the National Thoroughbred League Series.
It may come down to race number 8 in the race for the Pimlico Cup in the National Thoroughbred League, the 3rd of our 3 NTL races. This is the Good Trouble Stakes. 75,000 is the purse. We're going 5/8 of a mile on the turf. Angel Cruz on the 6 marathoner. Take out the 11 through 13. Cactus, the number 7. Going to be real tough in here. We have a video spotlight for Cactus, who took nicely to the turf.
Oh, this is a really, really good effort. First off the claim for Kieran McGee, and got back to the turf and got back to it in a big way. Now 2 for 2 on the lawn. And look at this beautiful trip. Just sits covered up behind 3 other runners. Is going to go ahead and find his seam here at the top of the stretch. Bosses of Powell was in this race. You know, I think maybe the way the surface changed. In fact, I'm talking to Shug downstairs. You might see a little different. Bosses of Powell and sustain a little bit better today. But take nothing away from the effort from Cactus. This was strong first off the claim, running an 80 figure right back with, could get a similar kind of trip with the flow that's in here.
With his tactical speed, he can make those kind of trips. It was a very good trip, but this horse is 2 for 2 on the turf, and I have a feeling that's why Kieran claimed him, to get him back on the lawn. Last out winners, second off the claim. Look at that number, 17 for 44, 39%, a $2.30 ROI. Kieran also has another horse in here that's got some speed, and I'm a little bit interested in, and that is Louis an Animal, a horse who last time out ran the 5.5, kind of got pressured outside, a horse that really tired badly. That horse ended up finishing 11th. He was something like 6 to 1 that day. This horse was 10 to 1 and hung in to finish third. I think he's getting better, and if you look at his turf form, he's only raced twice on the surface. A win at Belterra Park in 2023 and a good third last time out. Is he just going to have to work too hard to get that sort of trip? I want him to sit a little bit.
Well, looking at the comment, Vide outside, Rouse clear. Again, we're giving you a visual. Okay, was battling part of it. Responded when asked. I things to me, this horse can take to some rating. 12 hole, back to a little bit of an inside, used to get position early. I do think he can sit from just off of it, and shortening up a 16th of a mile just might be the answer.
You talked about Bosses a Pal, might get a setup and come running late second off the layoff. What about Sue Loves Barbados, a horse coming back off of a short break? Another horse, lots of minor awards on his page, but can be depended upon to give a good late kick. And is a little bit dirtied up. Dirt race last time, 2 turns the time before that. Hit the board in his prior 2 turf sprints.
I think this is a horse who's going to need a lot to happen up front to fall into the right pace. Hasn't seen the winner's circle in a long, long time, but exacta tries and supers will be involved in my ticket.
And while we're toasting the champagne with the champagne toast for the winners of the NTL, after you go 7-2-5-10 and I go 5-7-3-8, we still got the late double.
Yeah, we do.
There's still time for
Let's go to
action.
the ninth.
Race number 9, mile and a 16th on the main track. Starter optional claimer. Take out the 1A part of the entry. Take out the 6B West. Take out the 8 Mr. Agent. We'll start with Walkaway Joe. That's Max Single in her late pick 5 ticket. We have a trainer stat for Jamie Ness. Last out winners recently, Jamie sent out 12, 5 have won. Positive return on investment of $2.20. You can make the argument that Walkaway Joe is the best pure closer in this race, but you could also argue that he needs a little bit of a setup.
Yeah, I wanted to see you go Walkaway Joe in here, and yeah, he put it together last time. He had a setup. Horses were battling out on the front end of Parks. He kind of got back to the old Walkaway Joe, a bigger sweeping, sustained kind of a move there to win going away. You know, the way the track played yesterday, there's 2 horses in here, my top 2 selections, 2 and 3. Just please, please, please don't get into a duel early. I think one can spy the other if needed. If the flow is, 24, 48 and some change, I do think Morning Thoughts and Good Luck Chuck, the 2 and the 3, can carry this field a long way.
The horse, though, Walkaway Joe, does have very good Pimlico form. I did note that. He's got 2 prior wins on this surface, so maybe that'll help him out. You like Morning Thoughts, just a very consistent horse. And again, last time out against Burks, that was 6 days ago. I love that they're wheeling this horse back on short notice. That was a race that went to closers, and this horse did a lot of work.
And Good Luck Chuck, he's a horse.
He could be the main speed in
Yeah,
here.
it just race got away from him last time out, was dead empty, turning for a home. But second off the break, Robbie knows this horse. Just be interesting what these jockeys do heading into the first turn.
Finished ahead of Beach Cowboy last time out. That horse came back to earn a 69 Beyer speed figure, finishing third in a 7,500. I want to talk about Forest City.
Yeah.
If you like angles, Forest City's ridden by Forrest Boyce, and this horse really grinded it out, going a mile and a 16th last time out, acting like a horse that has found his distance after sprinting a lot of the time for Riley Mott.
Exactly. Got it, just reached in, stays at the 12.5, but just steps up into this open company. Back figures do work. We'll need to move back up, I think, just a little bit. But as you said, if things get involved early between the 2 and the 3, we know where Forest Boyce is going to be on Forest City. That's going to be inside looking for a path from the quarter pole home.
Lacey trains Forest City. Lacey trains Mr. Jefferson, who's getting some class relief and also figures. 2-3-1-4 for Keith, 1-4-7-5 for me. In race number 9, we'll close things out with a sprint on the main track, going 6 furlongs. Angel Cruz is on the 1, and he works too much. Another starter optional claiming event. It stays intact with a field of 7. Let's start things off with your top selection, Haley B., who has been on a roll.
Yeah, here's Kieran McGee back at you. First off the claim. 32% with the older fillies and mares. How about that over the last couple of years? First off, claim dirt sprints. Yeah, up to the front last time was Scent going longer. I think she can adapt to this kind of pace because I think Annie Works Too Much and Neolithica might be just a little faster. She's shown the ability to run well over this racetrack, to sit just off of and make a move. In Huron, we're going to trust off the claim here.
Neolithic, I like this outside draw for this horse because there is other speeds in here. Neolithica is probably fast enough that if he wants to, she can make the lead, but I also think she's very capable of sitting just off of it and getting a clear run under J-Rod. I thought she ran really well at a mile last time out, maybe pushing her distance abilities a bit, but she really was extremely game to finish second, to skip through the fire. I think turning back works for her. Let's talk about Annie Works Too Much a little bit. Nice price horse.
Good price horse, looking for a value, and get out horse maybe involved in your exact is 5-1. I get a little Jack Harmon 1-5-5-1, but yeah, at the time she was well beaten by the outside horse Neolithica. You're going back 4 races on the page. It was a muddy sealed surface. It was a day she was wide every step of the way. Yes, she can mix it up on the front. I think she can sit just behind the speeds if needed. I'm just going to toss the last, like the Comet, lost action, a little wake-up for us. Ready to go, right back off a little bit of a break. I think Annie Works Too Much, gets position. He can just hang around.
And if you think the turnbacks, Haley B, Neolithica, then maybe they lose a little bit of their early zip. More could be the controlling speed from the inside for the red-hot Farrier Boca Chica combination. 5137 for Keith, 7523 for me in the finale. Best play time on NTL Saturday at Pimlico.
We go early. We're going to go early, and it's going to be the 7 in the first race. Ask Not What You Can Do. For Hugh McMahon, we got a 10-1 morning line. Yes, at Hazelwood, you talked about with a win yesterday. I think we got a little shot there to make a move from just off the pace.
And my value play is coming up as well. That's your value play as the number 1, as race number 1, number 7. Ask Not What You Could Do. Minister for Magic. I wonder if we get the 5. I'm not sure. We're both on this horse. I just think he's going to get the right setup. I think he's found a very good spot. It's NTL Saturday. Mackenzie Pfeiffer, Callie Francois, Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon, and we'll go up to Dave Rodman right now for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.